Everybody, welcome to the Waiting podcast for 10/30/15 Fuck, stuck 2 years in the past.
All right, well, you better start the podcast over.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to the podcast for 10/30/17. I'm here with Cross and Relic. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
good. Great.
That was a nice restart. You can just clip off the end by making a highlight.
What restart? Shh.
I mean,
nothing's been restarted. So yeah, I've been great. Thanks for asking, Cross. I'm doing fantastic.
Oh, I did ask you already, but that was on the restart when you restarted the podcast after you filled the title.
We we had a 24-hour podcast like 2 days ago, and that was pretty good. I just thought, yeah, 24-hour stream.
Oh God! Imagine a 24-hour podcast. We're not even playing games.
I think somebody mentioned
the conversation would just get horrible after like an hour.
Yeah, that would be pure terrible. I'm cold. My feet are cold, and we have a fan art. Oh, I just forgot about that. I saw this linked randomly in chat during the 24-hour stream, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty neat. So I wanted to showcase it on the podcast.
Oh, I'm sure I'll see it in about 20 seconds.
It's a pyramid with a DNF logo, so that's a thing. I also put our names and who's speaking, who showed up in the thing. So that's something.
Cool.
Yeah. Who showed up?
Cross Knights, Relictae, and Unkempt Cube.
I don't think Relictae's here.
I hear his voice. Maybe that's just in my head, like normally.
Yeah, I don't hear his voice either.
Oh. Well, Relic, you should play Dead Space 3's DLC with me.
I mean, I have it installed.
Oh shit! I wasn't sure if you knew about that. If you knew about me gifting it to you, or if you just didn't notice because you never opened up Origin ever.
It was on my email.
Oh, that makes sense.
The email that I never check, and I just happened to check it, and I was like, "That's why I said, shit. You son of a bitch."
Well,
Are you guys gonna play it as a memorial to Viscera?
Yeah, it's gonna be right after you guys finish Life is Strange.
Which means it'll never happen.
Wait, it's a secret that we're playing that.
Oh, is it? Oh,
no, I don't know. I'm sure I've let it slip sometime. It's been. I think we started in January.
So, Chris.
Let me just go look real fast.
Okay.
No.
This is your opportunity to pin Relic in a corner and ask him about Life is Strange. Go.
Well, no, I already said it. The problem is me and Relic both aren't the most plan oriented. So we almost played a few months ago and we made the plan of days, but then we didn't pin down a time, and then I didn't run into you. So
we started Life is Strange July 16th of 2016.
Oh, it's actually way longer ago than I thought it was.
Yep, it's been over a year.
Like a year, Jesus. Nice.
It needs to come out. This is our Magnus Opus. This will be our greatest work.
Magnus Opus, you know.
It's gonna be complete shit. It recorded in 30 frames.
Oh, come on, 30 frames is not shit.
Videos.
30 frames is like baseline.
Yeah, but it's 30 frames on a game that's running at 60, or at least is supposed to run at 60.
Well, that's every video on my channel, though. Like,
have you seen
I
how
don't
old
have
it
the
is?
ability to render in 60 frames.
It looks bad.
Well,
our Magnus Opus sucks. It's terrible.
Well, I think that Terraria thing was pretty good too. The original Terraria Let's Play. I enjoyed that. And that's complete garbage quality. For episode 2 and 3, I was literally just sitting there building an igloo for the entire things.
Yeah, well, I was doing cool shit the whole time.
Yeah, too bad you weren't on camera. It's like, oh, these harpies, oh my god, look at this amazing thing I built. It's like, where are you? I'm not telling you. I'm in the sky. You'll never find me.
I gave you my location. I was in the sky.
Yeah.
Jeez, how couldn't you find me? God.
That's
not narrow it down as much as you think.
It's quite a large area, Relic. I don't know if you noticed. While you were up there in the sky.
Yeah, half of my channel is well, all of my channel is 30 frames per second, but most of my channel is also not even HD. So, I mean, if people care about that, they want to subscribe. It's fine.
Yeah, but it just looks
Patreon.
Especially bad for Life is Strange, and I think it just recorded really shitty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much the visuals matter that much. I'd say the sound is more important, which is kind of why it's really sad that I had to play without hearing the sound.
It's super important. Every part about it is important. We just screwed all of it up, and our Magnus Opus is gonna be just trash. It's like, wow.
That's fine though.
Wow. Also, we have that one episode that crashed like 20 times.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
We've had our issues, but
It sounds like any good Let's Play that gets fucked over by technical issues. Like our Dead Space 3 Let's Play. Oh, let's stop the podcast and go record Awakened right now.
Alright, let's do it. Peace.
All right, well, this has been the Waiting Queue podcast.
We'll be back next month for another 5-minute podcast. See you guys then.
Yeah.
Before we start another session. That game's probably only like an hour long anyway, though.
Seriously, though, the Dead Space 3 Let's Play was like one of the best Let's Plays.
I enjoyed it, other than for the parts where we didn't enjoy it, because Origin was hot garbage.
Yeah, but the actual videos were pretty good. I think that's like the best co-op we've done.
There's that one part where I left, and we just talked for 5 minutes.
That was pretty fun, though. Yeah, but it was just funny because I was playing as Isaac and you're playing as Carver and you're having all the fucking crazy shit happen and I'm just like, yep, that's what's happening. Yeah. Also, Brother Fear was a great Let's Play. You guys, if anyone hasn't seen those, you should watch Fear and Dead Space 3.
This is forewarning. The videos are in like 20 FPS on my end, so
yeah, they're terrible, but the commentary is great. Brother.
Well, that's the thing. That's what people care about. They want people talking. It's not necessarily about the videos. Unless it's just some rando who got to you by searching the game, then they might care.
Boss watched all the Dead Space 3 things.
Oh, fair enough.
That poor girl.
Yeah. She's in college, though, so, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
That's worse.
Yeah, but she's in, like, baking college, the best college.
Baking
the college I should have gone to.
That's what we all should have gone to.
Mm.
I hate bacon. I hate cooking in general.
My
I just
grandparents
want food to appear in front of me and be there.
My grandparents want me to be a medical doctor, and I was like, hey, I'll just be a baker. There you go. I'll tell them that.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Chemistry, baking, done.
Exactly.
So yeah,
speaking of Dead Space, should we talk about the fact that there'll never be another Dead Space ever again?
Oh yeah, that's great.
Hallelujah, kind of.
So yeah, if you don't know, the quick rundown is that EA, Electronic Arts, the publishers of the Dead Space series and who owns the IP, shut down the studio that made Dead Space, and that's basically it. There's a story, and they've done it to a lot of other studios too.
There needs to be more of a story here, like, are the Visceral Games guys fired? Are they being moved into a different branch?
Well, apparently they're being, they're either, the people in the company are either leaving the company or being consolidated to other parts of the places. But I think the original creators of the Dead Space game, 1 and 2, left the company a while ago anyway, before they worked on other games, so.
Look, I'm just sad because these guys made the Lord of the Rings games, some of the Lord of the Rings games, and they made Future Cop LAPD. That's the only good parts about them.
Wait, they made Future Cop? You mean the PlayStation 1 game?
Yep.
What?
They made Future Cop LAPD back as EA Redwood Shores, I think.
That game was great. I feel like that game had the first ever MOBA, like way before MOBAs existed. Like, did you play the 2-player game?
Yes.
Like yeah, it was a MOBA, right? It was pretty much a MOBA.
That was great. You took over turrets and you set shit at each other.
Yeah, you had to push like their turrets with bots and take over their base. Like it was totally a MOBA.
Why are you guys talking about Ocelots all of a sudden? Jeez.
You know what? I have to play Future Cop LAPD for my channel at some point.
Yeah, I guess I could do that too since I have the emulator, but like I wouldn't be able to play the MOBA mode.
Oh shit!
You can't. You can still play it against the AI. You just can't play it against another character.
What about net play though? Could you hook up a net play or something?
I don't know if they have that for that emulator.
They need some sort of.
They need a net play for a PlayStation 2 emulator because God, I want to play Dynasty Warriors with Cross.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
What about Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance?
That would also be amazing. That's the thing. I don't get why I don't like ARPGs because Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance essentially is one, but it's just because the controls are slightly different. I like it, but I don't like Diablo. So,
Tween Steak. You have the cheat code too. You can just cheat to the last level. Still die because you're terrible.
Di-
That's the way it goes.
No way, man. I'm Bala.
I used to own the second Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, but I think I sold it back to GameStop.
Not nearly as good.
Hey,
Yeah.
remember that one Baldur's Gate game that we were trying to play? That was like really old and
Oh yeah, just Baldur's Gate or something like that.
yeah, we should have probably kept going with that.
I feel like that game is really old.
It is, but it was kind of cool. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Oh my gosh, what if Cross could play that with us?
Oh no, but it's an ARPG, isn't it?
No,
it's
like
turn-based.
really, yeah, it's more like Neverwinter or D&D.
Yeah, I think I know the exact game that you're talking about, and I don't know about it. 'Cause remember when I tried to play Path of Exile with you guys and I was sleep deprived? That was terrible.
Yeah,
What
but
do you mean?
sorority girl started.
it was still okay.
Yeah,
It was
I-
fun.
Great shit came out of that.
yeah, it did, but I wasn't enjoying the game. I was enjoying that me and Relic kept on saying Terabithia, and it was bothering me. It's the only enjoyment I got.
Yeah. It was a good time. It was a good
Yeah.
time.
Sadist.
You should try it sometime, Cross. You can make really stupid characters like what I did.
Well, that might cause me to enjoy it for a little bit, to be fair.
I made a character who died in literally one hit.
Oh,
She had no constitution, and I ran way ahead of Companion into like the middle of the forest where this really strong enemy was, and I was like, "I'll do it." Dead.
Companion, you say?
yeah, companion. You're always going to be a
Who's
companion.
that nerd?
companion.
Yeah, I'm never gonna call you this other shitty name you have.
The only reason other people don't get confused is because they called you Cube and we called you
Oh, yeah.
companion. The part that we called you got changed and their part didn't.
I blame you for that, Cross. Nobody else called me companion.
Well,
Oh,
why'd you
I did.
screw me over specifically? I see how it is. You could have been unkempt companion and then everything would
Oh
have been fine.
no, that sounds like a dirty whore synonym.
Well, I mean that's what you are, so.
Ouch! I resent that.
Yeah, I'm a clean whore.
Yeah.
I'm really a man.
I'm well kempt.
Yeah, welcome to Cube. Yeah, I don't know, but companions are respected profession. You watch Firefly, it's fine.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Dead Space 3 never getting made for another sequel is really sad. I mean, I really wanted a Dead Space 1 remaster. That would have been.
Oh yeah,
nice.
back to that, huh? We should probably get back to that.
What do you mean?
topic.
We've been talking about that for the last 5 minutes.
Here's my position on it, and Cross and I briefly mentioned this while you were gone, but we don't need a Dead Space 4, 5, or 6. Like, kind of to finish the story, but they were kind of dragging that story out, and they were kind of making it just ridiculous now. It was kind of going through the syndrome that we've seen a lot of other franchises go with, where they run out of things to do, and they're like, let's just make this as absurd as possible.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That fucking main boss of 3, Danik. Like, I didn't give a shit about him.
Yeah, and then
Like the
I think in
moons, like it just got fucking ridiculous at some point.
and like humanity is already basically fucked in 3, right? Like, what's the point anymore?
Yeah,
I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, to be honest, I cannot remember the ending of Dead Space 3 except for one or two small points, and yeah, I just can't remember.
But you probably remember the ending of Dead Space 1, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, because that was a concise story, pretty simple in a good way, I guess.
Yeah,
and well told. 3, it's just like explosions, everything's blowing up.
Yeah, like
Sandstorm.
3 was just so much worse than what 1 was, and the thing is, I really liked the Dead Space storyline and universe. Like, I liked watching the movie. I liked looking at like the comics and stuff. But they've just taken it way too far. So I'm not too hurt that the studio's being shut down in that respect, because it's like, thank you. You've at least saved us from this IP being, dragged through the mud even further.
I was gonna say it's already kind of dragged through the mud a little bit.
But they definitely screwed it up, but that was like part of the issue. Like, that's possibly why the studio's not around anymore. If they had actually stayed closer to their roots, it might have been okay.
Well, it's hard to stay close to your roots when you're with EA, and
yeah,
I always say this, is that everybody should know what they're getting into. We all know EA sucks, and yet people still go work for them, so it's like we all need to know that this is going to be what the end result is of any game.
Well, that's really what it is. EA killed the studio. Can you agree on that?
Yes.
They're meddling in crap that killed it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
EA probably, EA put those fucking microtransactions into 3.
What do you mean? The weapon system was built around that, Relic.
No.
It complements. I'm being
You
sarcastic
stop.
here.
You stop. And all those DLCs, that's EA's bullshit right there. Like, oh god. And then EA killed Battlefront. Couldn't keep your fucking hands off of that, could you?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
God damn it. They're like they're like the monster that we just don't need. It's
What
the monster
about-
under your bed that your kids aren't even afraid of? They're
Relic.
just sick of.
Relic.
Yeah,
What
I want the
about
monster I do need.
what about a remake of Dead Space 1, but they force in co-op and they add microtransaction and loot boxes?
I would still play it.
I would too, but God, would I hate myself for it.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm only doing this because there's co-op and it's pretty fun. But fuck my life. Why am I doing this?
No,
But you don't think the co-op would completely ruin the mood of the entire game?
No,
It would, but
would,
I'll say this is the same situation that I had for Resident Evil 5. Yes, it ruins the mood of the series, but it makes it's just fun. It's fun for gameplay.
That's fair.
See, all I want is just a remake of Dead Space 1. Not with that shit I talked about, and that they would almost certainly add, but that's just all I want. I just want to be able to play through Dead Space 1 again with better controls on PC and better graphics.
It probably holds up just fine in your baby.
Oh god, I don't even want to try. See, I'm worried that if I make... I've wanted to Let's Play Dead Space 1 for literally my entire channel's shenanigans, but I feel like whenever I'm going to start it, they're just going to announce a Dead Space 1 remaster. And I'll be like, well, shit.
Well, I don't think there's any chance of that now, so you might as well do it.
Well, they still own the IP. Yeah, like, a company can just remake the graphics, right? Or is that just wishful thinking?
They could, but what would be the... I don't know if that's advantageous at this point.
Well, no, EA owns the IP, so EA will still be able to do whatever they want to it. I mean, I don't know. They wouldn't... They'd fuck it up.
Pachinko machines.
Well, that's Konami.
Say. Hit the lever.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've only played Dead Space 1, so...
What'd you think of it?
And I moderately liked it, but, it's not my genre.
How dare you? How fucking dare you?
It's not my genre either. I just like the storyline.
How dare
Yeah, I mean, so I liked the overall storyline. I definitely felt after a while that I was playing Fetch Quest the game, because they're like, go here, and now the end, and then go here, and then here.
That's true.
Here. But the overall story I was still drawn in by. It's just I didn't like that they didn't seem to be giving me interesting day-to-day things to do. It really just felt like I was walking here, then walking there.
Yeah.
But the combat, I mean, I liked the what do they call it? Like the tactical dismemberment system. That was pretty great.
I like the way they mention it 3 times in a row, back to back to back.
But I've never played a game where you had to aim for the arms. Like, you aim for the head and nothing happens. That's not their weak spot. That was cool.
Well, you could still kill them if you hit them in the head.
You could. But
Dead Space 3 is just forget the dismemberment system, just shoot them in the body and they're fine.
Yeah.
Well, no, Dead Space 3 is kind of like your guns are fucking worthless until the end half of the game, and then it's like, okay, now you can just shoot them anywhere and they're dead. It's cool.
It's ridiculous.
But in the beginning of the game, it's still like, yeah, you might want to dismember them a little bit. I don't know, maybe.
If you want to. I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You might want to dismember them a little bit if you're feeling in the mood for some dismemberment.
And then it gets to the point where it's just like, no, you need to just shoot them in the head and the body, and that's it. Like, stop trying to dismember. It's not working for you. Quit that.
I also is the main character like a soldier in the second one? Because in the first one he seemed like he was like a miner or something. Like all of his weapons were.
But then he was a veteran in the second game. It is cool. It's a lot
but
cooler.
He's like a veteran miner in the second game.
He's a veteran miner of skulls.
And I guess it's like mining in Stardew. I guess there's just monsters every time you mine. I guess you'd be a soldier eventually, but not normally, right?
Yeah, they kind of just made him something that he originally wasn't. Which
And that's the whole thing. Like, one of the key things about horror is like dispowerment. You're not supposed to be this ridiculous badass that can kill anything, or else you're
Well,
not going to be afraid.
In the second game, he isn't a badass so much as he just kind of knows how to deal with it. And he's insane in the second game, too, so that's kind of a disempowerment. Like, there's a scene where, like, a ghost is trying to stab a needle in his eye, and it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna die! And then you pass the scene, and you find out that he's holding the needle up to his eye, like, fighting against himself. So I feel like that's a good way to disempower somebody. In the third game, though, you're shooting just rockets at fucking...
the third game is Big Dick the game. It's just...
Well, you almost made me want to play the second game, companion. That sounds really cool.
It's good. I'd say it's probably better than the first, but I like the first better.
The second game is pretty good, and it brings in new characters. A new character.
Carver.
It's pretty cool.
Oh wait, he was shoved in the third game.
Carver, the character nobody likes.
There were signs that he was kind of going crazy in the first game. So,
who, Carver or Isaac?
The main character.
Isaac. Okay.
Yes, Carver, the character who wasn't even in the first game.
You don't know that. What if there's a lot? What if they just patched the first game and added a log by Carver?
You know, I'm sure someone's like found a way of putting Dead Space onto a computer and like modding the shit out of it so it's just Carver instead of Isaac.
Oh, that would be something.
Why would they, though? Is Carver even a good character?
Not really, no.
Yeah, well, like, why would you?
He's just a puppet for the second person to inhabit.
Yeah, basically.
Although I guess Isaac in the first game, like, he didn't have a character either. He never said anything.
I mean, I was okay with that.
He had actions though that spoke louder than words, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like picking up a piece of a generator and shoving it in the generator.
That's what a miner does. They fix generators.
They fix all the generators.
I think he was a technician or something more than a miner.
Yeah. I just love they had like that one gun that you could turn to the side or like up, so it was for cutting arms depending on where they were attached.
Yeah.
But it also made sense as a mining tool. Like, it was clever, and then just
I believe all the tools worked for mining and industrial, except for the just assault rifle.
Yeah, and it makes sense that they'd have like one type of gun, I guess. But it's just this is how it goes though. Like an IP, this is how it goes now anyway. And like I think like I saw the Jim Sterling video. He basically saw this as like the start, where an IP gets really popular, and then the publisher starts meddling with it as much as possible and turning it into something it shouldn't be. And that's like what happens with that's definitely what happened with Shadow of War, which is another thing we could talk about. And it's just there can't just be a game anymore. You can't just like buy a game and you have the game. There's all this crap like added to it by the publisher that changes the pacing and changes the way it was supposed to be. And
well, he was also just sorry.
It's if it wasn't for I say this all the time. If it wasn't for the indie market, I'd be incredibly depressed by video games right now because it seems like all the main publishers have gone crazy, or it just doesn't matter to them anymore. They don't care about screwing up the game as long as I can get a bit more money out of it.
Well, he was also talking about how publishers nowadays expect millions upon millions of copies of games to be sold.
And
how
it's a failure.
Yeah, because games cost so fucking much to make nowadays, which, to be honest, if every game looked like Dead Space 2, I would be fine with that. Because Dead Space 2 looked good.
As I understand it, Dead Space 3 made its money back. It just didn't make, like, billions of dollars, so, like, they called it a failure.
Well, they also expected it to be a multimedia series, too, right? I mean, I read both the books, I read all the comics, I watched the first movie, so I got into it, but not everybody else did.
I didn't even know those things existed until today.
Exactly.
But
first book, it's pretty good. Just let everybody know.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
You haven't played Shadow of War, have you, Relic?
No, it's on my list to eventually play.
Okay.
Are you gonna buy it for full price and then buy all the loot boxes and make a YouTube video of you unboxing orcs?
No.
In fact, which version were you planning to buy? The regular version, the silver version, the gold version, or the orgasm version? I don't remember what the last one's called.
Orgasm version.
The orgasm, that would be amazing.
Probably the normal version. You know?
All right. Well, too bad you're only getting half the game for a mere $60.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There's going to be entire orc clans that aren't in the game that are like vital to the story.
At least he gets that one dude who died of cancer during the
So you're
development.
telling me that it's doing the Sims method.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, another game EA
Yeah.
diddled to death.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's another one. It's like here you can have crappy hair, but if you want good hair, you have to pay. Come on, jeez. Also, mods aren't allowed anymore. You know why people still play Sims 2? It's because there's so many mods. It can be any game you want now, and they didn't allow mods in the fourth one.
Oh wow, that's so dumb.
Yeah, because then people would just make the good hair
Yeah.
and not pay them for it. But no, I was going to pre-order it, and then I saw that there was this is the thing. They said they were going to give me a special sword of domination, and that actually stopped me from getting it because I didn't want a magical sword that would make the game easier. And then I found out there was also different levels where you couldn't even fight all the orcs if you didn't get the best version. And then, so I was already going to not get it, and then they introduced the loot boxes.
Oh.
Which, my concern for loot boxes are if you're going to add them, you're going to mess up the game progression to make it more drawn out so that people want to get the loot boxes. And apparently that doesn't happen until a lot later in the game, but it does happen. Like if you want to get the best endings, you're probably going to have to grind for hours or get something. And plus, you can get like orcs in boxes, which is incredibly dumb and just ruins it. Like the most fun part of the game was to capture an orc and have like a personal interaction with them and then have them fight for you. But they can also just die permanently. So you're spending money on things that can die permanently really easily through no fault of your own. Like, this didn't need to happen. It could have just been a game, and it would have been fun, and it would have been great. And I'm not even looking forward to playing it at this point.
I remember hearing from a couple people that were doing reviews on it, like their legendary orcs would just die in 5 seconds of starting a battle, which is a little suspicious.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, that orc that you spent hundreds of dollars on, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
Buy another one.
And it not even in a way that made any sense.
Just bleed out.
And apparently to level up orcs, you have them like fight other orcs, but you can't intervene. Like they
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So that's so dumb. In the first game, you could level up orcs by having them fight different orcs, but you could intervene. It was great. They'd be like, we're going to have a duel to the death. And like a really strong orc goes to kill yours, and you just like shoot it in the leg so it can't move. And then your guy just beats it to death. Like that was great.
Did you play the first game, Relic?
No.
Oh, maybe you should play that a little bit if you just want to wait for Mordor to go on sale or whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to buy that one first.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of
It's
here?
only $5 still, probably.
I would recommend blasting through the first area of the game, just getting through that, because like you only get the power to take over orcs halfway through the game or something like that, and that's when the game changes. Yeah, it's like near the end, at least halfway through.
Though the first time I played it, I just didn't do any quests for like 2 hours. I just ran around like killing orcs, and it was fun. Like I didn't need to do any of the things.
I was the goober who ran around collecting shit that I really didn't need to.
You do that like every time.
What do you mean?
Didn't you do that? Wait, you didn't play Assassin's Creed, did you?
I did.
Yeah, you like got all the chests in that too, right? Like, why are you doing that to yourself?
I don't know. I don't know.
You just have like a completionist compulsion.
Says the fucker who got all the feathers for a feather cape.
I did that for the video. I never would have done that normally.
For the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think I would have? I didn't do that during my first playthrough. Would have been terrible.
Gross.
I got like 20 feathers in my first playthrough, and that's just because they were just where I was.
Anyway, so yeah, Shadow of War, garbage, and nobody should support it.
But people
it's also selling extremely well.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're getting rewarded for doing this because they're making more money than they would.
It's that Shadow of Mordor Slim Jim crossover deal.
Did you there was a report, I can't remember where it was, but there was a report that kind of looks at why games have loot boxes, and the profit that they bring in from loot boxes is absurd compared to what the profit from the normal game is.
Yeah. No, it's working. They have no incentive to not do this. In fact, If they don't do it, they're losing money. I mean, all they get is a game that's better, but they don't make more money, so...
And it's our fault, the consumer's fault for letting this happen.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's... The thing we have to remember is that we're in a different world as far as video game goes. Like, we listen to video game news. Like, the general population, they just play a video game. They don't think about this stuff.
Yeah, but I'm gonna I play Overwatch. I have yet to buy an Overwatch loot box. I'm never going to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I buy the game, and I want the game. I don't want anything else. Like,
yes.
But what about all those sweet Halloween costumes? I had a friend at work who said, yeah, I'm going to go home and spend $25 tonight on Overwatch loot boxes. And I was like,
oh, man.
He didn't even see any problems with that. He was just like, oh yeah, that's just how games are, I guess.
I see a problem with it. If I wanted to buy a outfit and I could get it for $5, okay, maybe I'll do it because then I get what I want, at least.
Yeah.
Like, there's no guarantee you're going to get anything good out of those loot boxes.
Or even
so why
just
bother?
Have a dust system for Overwatch or parts where you can just break down costumes into parts and then just build a new one, right?
Well, they how they deal with that is that if you have a duplicate, you get a coin value for it.
Oh, and you can buy them.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is dust. Can you buy the Halloween costumes?
You can, but only during the Halloween event.
Okay. I mean, that's not too bad.
3 times the cost of what they usually would be.
Oh, God.
So 3,000 coins instead of 1,000.
I have bought costumes, like, for Awesome Nuts and for HOTS, but I would never do a random... Like, I'd never buy something that was random. That seems terrible.
I probably spent like $15 on Killing Floor 2 loot boxes at this point. Over the
I will
years.
say this: I've spent money on mobile games, but I do that strictly with the idea of I didn't buy this game, so I need to give back to it somehow. This is how I'll do it.
What does Jim call it? Fee to pay?
Yeah, like you paid a full fee you paid $60 and now you get to pay more money.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if I really like the mobile game, and I've done this very rarely, but if I really like it and it's a good value, I'll do it. I love Plants vs. Zombies too. Never spent any money on it though, because all it's going to do is make the game easier for me, and why would I want that? But I remember, like, my Singing Monsters, I think I bought something just to get rid of all the ads, and it made the game way better.
Probably loaded faster too.
Oh yeah. Used up less data if I was walking around with it. So, but most of the time, a lot of the times, it's like not even a good deal in a lot of mobile games. Or like, you look at it, it's like, why would I do that? Like, for $5, you get practically nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm playing Worlds of Tomorrow, which is the Futurama game, and they're like the worst offender of like everything we're talking about. Like, in order to just play the game properly, you kind of need to spend money or like spend stupid amounts of time on it. So I'm just spending stupid amounts of time on it. But none of the money deals have ever even seemed slightly worth it to me. So I'm never going to spend money on it. But it's just the fact that this type of crap is coming into games that you actually paid $60 for, which I don't know if I've ever paid $60 for a game before.
I spent it on Fallout 4, and now they have the Bethesda Creation Club thing where you spend $5 for a shitty Enclave Hellfire armor.
Yeah.
That has a better modded version out there.
Yeah, no, it's all pretty bad. And again, it's just sad because it's definitely working. Like Relic said, like the loot boxes are making a lot of money.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, I blame the whales.
And then you even have like WWE, the 2K shit. They'll sell character packs for outrageous prices. I think the full value of last year's game was like $130 or something absurd like that.
Yeah. And
it's just like, why? Like, if we're not getting bled from loot boxes, we're getting bled from high-priced DLC. Like, it's absurd.
Yeah.
And some people are just like, well, I got the money for this. Yada, yada, yada. I don't get it. Where do people get all this fucking money? I want this money.
That's the thing. Yeah, I don't understand. So I used to play a game called Avengers Academy, and there were people that were spending like $200 a month on it. And I was like, what are you, like, how? What do you do? Are you a dragon? Do you just like, are you just give gems? Like you cash them in? Like, I don't get this.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Some people just have either way too much money or they're just not buying things that are important.
Mm-hmm.
Too much disposable income or something. Or maybe they just play one game and just go ham on that.
Maybe.
That's what some of them were saying. They're like, look, I don't actually play any video game besides Avengers Academy, and I can play it at work.
Well,
So
Cross, it's like
it's worth it to me.
your one friend who played a shit ton of that Marvel Heroes game. He probably only played that game, and he spent a shit ton of money on that, right? So
He did, yeah. Although he felt good about it because, one, it was free to play, and two, the devs were like awesome people, and it was a labor of love. But yeah, no, I'm sure he spent like $200 on that game.
yeah, and then you get people like that Futurama game that you're playing who are like, "Oh, I love this game. Oh, my city's so good."
Except it's a bad game, though. That's the problem. That's the difference. It's like one is a labor of love, and one is like basically just bastardizing an IP, and it got me into a 3 to play it, and we're now like I think we like hate play it sometimes. I don't know.
You're part of the problem. Cross.
We're not though, because we're not spending any money on
But
it.
you're inflating their player count.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we got to drag them back.
So what?
Got to drag them back by not paying money.
That doesn't. It affects them zero. Nothing. It doesn't affect them at all.
Yeah, well, you know. It's just the people that are going to spend like I don't know. It's great like joining the Reddit forums for games like that because then you don't. Just people are so angry when crap happens.
Well, yeah, you make a shit game, have shit business practices, you're gonna have a shit community.
Yeah, they're losing a lot of people with this last event, like the Halloween event where the robot devil attacks.
At least with things like Overwatch, they have loot boxes, but they're not. It's all cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that affects gameplay, and you can get loot boxes by playing the game. So at least it's not like, yeah, if you don't pay money, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
It's still encouraging its player base to be there because it needs a big player base. So the whales come in and say, "I'm having a lot of fun. Now I got to buy these cosmetics."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like my friend who just dropped $20 yesterday on Overwatch loot boxes. But at what point is it cosmetics taking away from the full $60 game? You know what I mean? Like, at what point should all those cosmetics be in the game that you spent $60 on? Is what I'm trying to say.
Well, there are ways to just like get it with in-game currency, or
yeah, you can get it with in-game currency, and you can get loot boxes via just playing. So
yeah.
But I get what you mean, Cube.
I don't think they really need to be in the game, but
no,
I don't know. Whatever.
They're just there. I mean. Like, if I had to pay for the $60, if the price tag was $60 for the basic Overwatch game with all the heroes and just none of the cosmetics, I would pay it. The cosmetics don't mean anything to me, and I don't think they mean that much to most people, but some people obviously are really into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think the game stands up and it's worth the $60 on its own. That's what I'm saying. But for your point, Cube, I think that'd be like a case-by-case basis of how much the game actually offers versus the value of the cosmetics.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting thing to hear Total Biscuit and Jim Sterling talk about. I really wish they would sit down on a podcast and just debate that point, because Total Biscuit was subscribed to the idea of, it's fine, it's just cosmetics, just like yours. And then Jim Sterling is like, it's that free-to-play mentality of trying to beat the player down into giving more money to the developers. Even if they spent $60 and there's cosmetics, it's like, hey, that guy has something that I want.
Yeah.
And if you spend $60 on a game, you shouldn't be subjected to that sort of stuff, is what he was going on about.
Yeah, but to his point, I would say, well, the values of games have changed. A full game is no longer worth $60. Let's just be real here. The full value of a AAA title is no longer $60. We think it is because on face value, it still
he
is,
specifically brings this up in like every one of the videos because I guess that's the main thing that people say to him. And he would basically say that the game industry does a ridiculously large amount of things to screw over the people that are working on the game while they're actually still making record profits. So it's not necessarily that they're actually spending a tremendously large amount of money compared to what they're getting back.
And season passes, DLCs, that sort of thing too.
No, I'm not saying that the cost of the game like the cost that goes into making the game reflects on the price. I'm just saying that the price of the actual content of the full title is the value that people are willing to pay is higher than $60. So those of us who pay $60 and think we're still getting a full value game are wrong, because the full value of the game has been moved.
Societally driven is what you're talking about, not economically driven.
It's so we're now in the minority of people who are stingy with our money.
Well, I mean, I'm not stingy with my money. It's ridiculous for me to even think about spending $60 on a video game when I'm having trouble, just keeping the amount of money that I need to live. So, like, even just $60 for me would be insane for me to spend. To
the big game companies, we're like the non-factors.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about us. We're not the ones who are driving up their profits, so they don't care.
They're gonna have more shit business practices in AAA coming up. We're gonna have the next Battlefront game is gonna have a season pass with loot boxes, and it already has that.
But no, I'm just done with it. I'm fine with playing a AAA game 4 years after it comes out if it's gonna be an affordable price. I can live with that.
Yeah.
And if that's just the world we live in, that's just the world we live in.
Do you guys remember that fucking thing EA was pushing where you had to like buy a multiplayer pass or something like that? You guys remember that?
I don't know about that at all.
There was like a multiplayer pass thing, and I remember because I was trying to play Dead Space 2's multiplayer, that ham-fisted thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, you have to buy this shit. Mom, please. Mom.
See, I don't remember that. I think I remember them. Maybe was that back also when they were doing it for Far Cry? Because I think I remember that being a Far Cry thing.
All I know is that they eventually abolished it, probably because they switched over to season passes.
But also because selling co-op is a really shitty thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't think most people are okay with that.
Well, they were trying to fuck over the used game market. That's what it was. Because if you buy a used game, somebody else already used the code, so you would have to buy a code.
Stupid GameStop. I think the used game market's going to crumble under its own weight soon anyway.
Digital games.
GameStops are like ghost towns.
Yeah. I mean, there's digital for a reason, all right?
Also, you remember, they just put like multiplayer into games that don't need it. Like, you remember Bioshock 2 has multiplayer?
We can actually play that, I think. Oh, wait, no. Is that we can't play it because Games Surrounders Live exploded.
I think we tried to play it once, but there was 3 of us, and obviously no one was on the server, and it wasn't like, how are we going to do it with the 3 of us?
Are you telling me that there's not an MLG esports scene for Bioshock 2's multiplayer?
No, it's almost like a year after the game was released, no one was playing.
A year? Come on, that's being really generous, Cross. Really
that's true.
Generous.
So think of the development resources that they spent in order to put that in. Like, no one wanted that.
It could have been a pretty shitty mode. I mean,
it was, from what I understand. So
it probably didn't really have that many resources put into it.
But like the idea was cool because it takes place right before the first Bioshock, where like everything goes to shit. So there's just people running around shooting each other, which is what the plot of Bioshock 1 was. So it made sense storyline wise, but I'm sure it was just a mediocre at best shooter.
Sounds cool though.
It does, because if you're able to use the plasmid still, I think that would be fun. Like, I do kind of want to play it once. Like, maybe we should get like 6 people together and we'll all play it.
How dare they release a remaster Bioshock 2 without the most important part?
Yeah. Also, how dare they break it so that my little sisters don't talk to me and I feel no empathy for killing them.
That was so bad. I went through the whole game for the first time without them talking to me.
Yep. And eventually, in a combination of me not liking the mini game to save them and them not talking, eventually, like halfway through, I was like, I was going to start killing these little sisters.
See, I stuck it out because I'm not a terrible person who kills old people and little children.
You mean lifeless dolls that don't even have a voice and I have no empathy towards? Yeah, whatever.
True.
If they talk to me, maybe I'd feel bad about it. But
maybe I'm the less sane person between us because I stuck through.
It'd be like if you found a teddy bear that was kind of wiggling. Like, I'm not going to feel empathy to him. I'm going to be creeped out of anything.
You know who got made voices when he played the game? This guy.
Wait, you did what?
I got to hear the voices when I played the game the first time.
What platform did you play it on?
Xbox.
Okay, see,
Oh,
Games from
yeah.
Windows Live is such a shit service because Steam had the updated version with the voice fix, and I would update the game on Steam, launch it, and then Games from
every
Windows
update
Live,
was a bad version.
Games from Windows Live would de-patch it to the old version on their system,
Yep.
so the voices weren't there.
It was amazing. And I found out there was like no fix for it. Like you can't just stop Game for Windows Live from updating it to what it thinks is the proper version.
Yep.
And you couldn't play it without Games for Windows Live. So, ooh. And I didn't even know that I thought that like they were just like so lazy that there was no voices for the little sisters until you told me. And then I almost quit the game, but I was like, well, I'm like 2/3 of the way through now. Also, Bioshock 2 isn't as bad as people say it is.
Yeah.
Like, it gets a lot of crap. It wasn't great, but
I'd say it's
terrible.
even better than the third game.
Gameplay-wise, definitely.
Mhm.
I do like the story better in the third game.
God, there's
I
so
think
many.
the
Sorry.
I just think the story in the second one was the weakest part. But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say there are so many people that fucking hate the story in the third game.
Huh.
Like, there's a large community out there who are like, this is the worst story I've ever heard.
I don't think it is. It has some obvious issues. They
mean-
make some pretty big false equivalencies in it, but the character of Booker and Blue Dress McGee,
Elizabeth.
I forgot her, Elizabeth. I think they're great characters and they drive the story. And the world itself is beautiful. Like, that was my favorite part about it, is that it looked so aesthetically pleasing. You weren't like some dark, dingy cavern or anything. It was all like happy and bright, and there's so few shooters that are like that.
What do you think of it, Relic?
I wasn't crazy for it. I mean, gameplay wise, it wasn't my cup of tea, and I just didn't care that much for the story.
Okay.
It didn't impress.
The gameplay was not good. It was the worst gameplay out of the series. Like, they boiled it down to a shooter. Again, apparently, like, every single Shock game boiled the mechanics down more to the shooter. 'Cause especially if you count System Shock as like the first game in the Shock series. Like, that one was even more complicated than Bioshock, apparently. And I've tried to play it, but it's so archaic I can't really get myself to.
Yeah.
But that's not the direction I wish they went. I want more complicated. I want more RPG elements, you know? It's
So
the same
like
thing with the
Deus
Deus
Ex.
Ex series. The Deus Ex series was so complicated in the first one, and they just took more and more elements out until it was just a shooter. So,
That's what happens. That's what happens.
but why does it happen?
I don't know. I mean, look at Dynasty Warriors. They fucked that franchise.
You want to know
That's
why
true.
it happens? It happens because they're trying to appeal to the mainstream, just like Dead Space series did.
What, in the mainstream isn't thinking and can't play a hard game?
Yes, that's what the publishers think.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's sad. But you're right about Dynasty Warriors. That hit an extremely simple combat system, and then 6 comes around. They're like, I think we need to make it simpler.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
you know how people say that all you do is hit one button? Let's make that actually true instead
Yep.
of just something that people that don't understand the game say. It's like, God
No.
damn it.
And then, and now, I haven't played 8 yet, but 7 was basically just the troops didn't they may as well not have existed. You just plowed right through them.
Yeah.
They did nothing, and it was just such a power trip the whole game. And I'm like, real dumb.
Yeah. Remember 3 where they'd like break your combos and stuff and wait for a moment to strike, and like the soldiers actually looked like they were fighting. Like, they even messed that up in 4.
Yeah, but the soldiers would fuck you up in 2 and 3.
Well,
They were
2 was
messing
messed
around.
up because they didn't have arrows in that game. They had goddamn sniper rifles. Like, I don't know what they were thinking when they made the damage for those arrows, but like, you could just walk into a place and die. Like,
It was awesome.
yeah, definitely
But-
better.
I just liked that in 2 and 3. Not only were the normal soldiers, if you fought a lot of them, they could
Mhm.
overwhelm you, but also the normal officers were actually a threat.
Yes.
And then 4 and 5, they kind of went away from that a little bit. And then 6, it was just like, hey, if they catch you with their Mushu, you'll die, but it's only because they have an inflated damage ability. They
Mhm.
can't actually fight you or shit. Like, they'll hit you 3 times and you'll die, as opposed to you hitting them 200 some. It's like, it's...
Have you
In
guys
4, though,
seen-
the officers were assholes, and I hated them. Like, if you tried to run away, they would just follow behind you and charge attack you, like, over and over and over and over
Yep.
again. God damn it.
Good times, good times.
Well, the podcast is almost over.
Well, 11 minutes left. We can mention what's going to be up on our channels. Cross, go, you, go.
Yeah, all right.
Cross.
So I'm doing Plants vs Zombies 2, but very slowly. I might do more Heat Signature. That Heat Signature is a game that I really, really like, but actually got repetitive extremely fast. And I've beaten it recently, and I have to decide whether I actually want to do more videos on it. We'll see. I'm doing Broforce with Butkus. I've got another part of that that's going to come up soon. And then Hollow Knight and Stardew are my main ones that are going on for evers. So there's actually, I guess, like 6 games on my channel right now. I'm just kind of juggling them around.
And if you subscribe to patreon.com/crossnights, you too can get the early videos.
It's true. Very, very sporadically, but
Early
they do appear
access to early videos. Or
also, there might be a secret video on my on my Patreon that I said I wasn't going to do that, but I accidentally uploaded a part 1 of a series, I think early 2016, and then forgot that it existed, and then lost the other 2 parts. And I recently found it again.
What if theoretically I had an old YouTube video that includes you in it, telling Relic's family that you wished it died in a fire?
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to upload that to your Patreon?
No.
No.
No, and I don't know, someone mentioning that might be kind of an asshole. And maybe
it wasn't Cross. It's not that bad.
Uh-huh.
It's awesome, I think.
Look,
I don't even know how I got that footage.
Awesome Nuts, and some.
I don't even know how I got that footage. Relic
I'm a little bit confused about that too. If Relic was recording it, how the hell did you get that?
Because he was recording it too.
No, I wasn't. It's from your POV. Unless I recorded your screen's POV.
That means you sent it to him. That's the only thing that makes sense.
No, I think I put it on our YouTube channel just for you to see. To remind you of it.
Oh, and then you took it. You took it.
I mean, that's possible.
So it's all on him. I did nothing wrong.
Yeah, that sounds right. Oh,
so,
Betrayer Cube.
Coming up on my channel is going to be a specific video from Relic's point of view on Osmots.
I know where you live, companion.
I know where your mother lives.
What are you going to do about that?
You gonna beat up an old lady, Cube?
Really? No. I'm just gonna tell.
He's gonna point at you, and then cats are gonna jump out and ravage your body.
That sounds amazing. Oh my god.
Cube's preferred way to die, right there.
No, sorry, Cross. I think I brought that up before. But
I don't think you have.
Right, listen, I'm sorry that I revealed that 2-year-old information.
You terrible! I think that was like from like 2012 or something.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Back when Relic and I and you were recording that Let's Play.
Mm-hmm.
Before they fucked up Awesome Months.
Yep.
Anyway, up on my channel, I recorded an episode of Payday 2. That's going to be up. I'm going to do at least one more video before the Crime Fest 2017 ends, and I'm probably going to stop for another 4 months.
You're actually doing more Payday 2?
Yes.
Were you just recently talking about how you never want to do it ever again?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Silent Hill 2, I'm finally editing those streams, so hopefully that's going to go out there. And then we're also going to probably upload the 24-hour stream to the Drive Not Found YouTube channel. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the Drive Not Found YouTube channel, I'm going to link it in YouTube chat, and I'm also going to put it on the description for this VOD. Please go to subscribe to that, because it's, it's a thing you should do, please. Subscribe to it, please.
Join the 83 other people that have subscribed.
Please. Don't do it. Don't unsub from it, please. So,
Relic. What's on your channel, Relic?
Well, I don't really do much on my channel.
Dead Space
anymore.
3 Awakening.
But I'm going to be playing D&D all the time now. That's where we're going now.
Wait, seriously?
Well, no, but I am making my character for a D&D session that I'll be playing here in a bit.
Oh.
Like a couple of days.
Are you going to play another archer with a a gnat as a companion?
No, I'm playing a drow ranger, thank you very much, and I'm partnering with a fucking halfling bard, okay? Thank you.
On Relic's channel, you can also see War of the Human Tanks and let's remember Lords of the Realm 3.
And nothing else, because
that's
Relic
it.
doesn't upload a jack shit.
You do about once a week, it looks like. Once every 1 or 2 weeks, yeah.
If you're lucky, you'll get videos. That's how it goes.
So you're actually going to be playing D&D in person?
Yep.
Oh, that sounds great.
You can also find out Relic's thoughts about Flash games and how they've fallen.
What? I don't think I mentioned that at all.
It says, let's remember Flash games, the fallen.
Oh, let's remember, comma, Flash games, comma.
The fallen Flash games, let's remember them. That's what...
Well, I mean, it did say, hey, I only played old Flash games, sucker. Yeah.
Also, on my channel, watch for me ravaging Relic's channel for Flash games.
Which you won't find any. Oh, you could play Village of Nightmares.
But I did play Nightmare Tower, and that's only because I saw you play it on your
Ravaging
channel.
Relic's channel. That sounds pretty great.
And my new segment, Ravaging Relic's channel.
Hey, you can play Safe House Diaries, Cross. Why don't you play that? Safe House Diaries 2.
Oh.
No, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
Hi!
Hey, you're on the podcast now.
Oh, hi!
But yeah, we're just about finishing up. But yeah, yeah, no, I when Zayfel first came out, it was too complicated for me to screw it with it, so I didn't.
You missed the easy video.
No, it would have been really popular, but I watched your videos. I'm like, I don't know, those are good.
Relic.
That's
Relic.
Low standards.
If you do another series on that, you have to make me super OP, and you have to gimp Butt Kiss completely.
Why do I have to gimp Butt Kiss?
Gimp him, so if he throws a chair at me, it misses again.
Well, I thought I was the chair thrower.
I don't
Actually,
remember.
No, I think both of us were.
Very
There was a
possible.
lot of chair throwing. People have bad tempers.
I just want to be super OP.
Well, you know what, Cube?
Don't get
I
me.
think I'll have to do the opposite of that.
No, please.
I think you're gonna have to be the most pathetic piece of shit on the planet that I have to baby to keep alive. And that will
Aw.
be the game. How do I keep Cube alive?
That's adorable.
It'll be
Yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah, subscribe to youtube.com/DrivenOutFound. You thought I was going to say youtube.com/Relictae.
I did.
Aha.
I did think it. It's less funny when Relictie's here, though.
That's true. Just mention it offhand. Alright, so what do you guys want to do for the last 2 minutes? Play Castle Miner Z?
I don't have that.
No, God, that's the game that they ended the stream with, and it looked
That's
like
what-
the worst thing ever.
That's what Douglas gets for abandoning us and not being there. He would have stopped that. He would have stopped that.
He couldn't, though. After 20 hours, he was falling asleep at the keyboard.
Oh, we gotta play Quiplash again sometime. That was fun.
Oh, God.
Other than all the, horrible shit.
Can Quiplash not be in the highlights of the...
Nope. It's gonna be in there. That's pretty bad.
It was, let's just say Douglas's roommate took that to the next level and was not punished for it. He was, in fact, rewarded for it, so you can't even blame him.
You were gonna talk about the Adpocalypse thing, Cross. You got 1 minute, go.
There's not enough time now. Basically, about a month and a half ago, everyone knew that YouTube was demonetizing channels and making them make less Mad Money, but about a month and a half ago, they made it so that you could see which videos were demonetized, and I was hit in ways that were a little bit weird. Like, pretty much all of my Killing Floor videos were hit. Almost all of Shadow of Mordor are hit. Vampire the Masquerade hit. So none of those are making money anymore, and there's nothing I can do about it. Also, random videos that I upload now also get hit. Like, some Stardew have been hit. You can review this is the weird thing. You can only review a video to get it remonetized if it makes 1,000 views in a week. So that means none of my videos ever. None of my old ones. But if it's not uploaded yet, like if it's hidden, you can request a review and they actually do manually review it. So I've been doing that to reverse a lot of the demonetization on my videos, but it's ridiculous. There's nothing in those. I'm just farming in some of them. So, I don't know what's happening. The people that actually do YouTube for a living are really getting screwed, most of them. So if you like a YouTuber and you want to support them, just give them like $1. That's going to be more than all of the ads that they're making for a year from you, but probably maybe even for the lifetime of you watching their channel from you.
I think we've been saying that for years, haven't we?
Yeah, it's just it's way more true now. Like, you used to, the ads almost don't matter on my channel right now. I'm making a pittance. In fact, I wouldn't even be able to buy Shadow of War for a month worth of YouTube ad money at this point. So, yeah, I guess that's mainly what I wanted to say. I don't know.
It's a hard knock life for YouTubers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go to streaming. Twitch streaming's where it's at. That's the money flows.
It is for now, yeah, until that blows up.
Like 75% of the creatures are streamers now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is it? Not Yoshi. Kenobi. Kenobi had a really cool YouTube channel. He wasn't getting a lot of traction despite the fact that he had like really high production values. And then about a year ago, apparently he switched to streaming, and he's doing very well in streaming. Yeah. He constantly has more viewers than Drive Not Found, and he started like way after us. So
I also gotta wonder if that's just because every time you go to Kenobi's channel, Twitch channel, you know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get Kenobi, maybe his mom playing a Nintendo game, most likely. Drive Not Found, however, it's a grab bag.
No, Drive Not Found is a terrible business model, but
yeah,
let's be honest.
I don't know. Streaming is stupid.
Yeah.
But like our intention was never to like make money. That's the thing. Or our intention was just like, what if we had a channel where like all of our audiences could interact, and there would be streams almost all the time. And we've got one of those going. Like I mean, I guess more people are streaming now. I'm streaming more, so there's more videos on the channel. But yeah, it kind of worked
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Go Patreon. I don't know why YouTube doesn't just launch a Patreon service. That would make a whole lot of sense.
They have like a tip thing where you can just
but it's not the same, you know?
Well, yeah, because they take a huge cut apparently.
Yeah. Well, the podcast is over the hour mark at this point.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining us, Cress and Relic. I'll catch you on the next. Thanks again to this person who made this awesome DNF pyramid thing and sent it to us. I don't know who it was, but if you watch the podcast or are even aware of it at all, thanks and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. There we go. All right, bye.